Hello, everyone. Welcome to Encountering Chinese. Ghostly stories from Strange Stories from a Chinese Studio. The story I'm going to tell today is called Taking the Exam to Become a City Guardian in Hades. In China, there is a legend that after people die, they will turn into ghosts and drift into another world known as the underworld or Hades. In this realm, a unique social system forms, with many cities, each governed by a city guardian. However, the city guardian is not a ghost. They belong to the realm of celestial beings. Their duty is to safeguard the peace and harmony of their respective earthly cities and manage the affairs of the city's underworld. Therefore, the city guardian must be chosen from the most upright and selfless individuals while they are alive. And today, we are going to tell a story about the city guardian. Once upon a time in ancient China, there lived a man named Song Tao. He was the grandfather of my sister's husband and was known in the county as a talented scholar. Song Tao was highly respected by his neighbors because of his noble character and kindness, and they affectionately called him Mr. Song. One day, Mr. Song fell ill and found himself lying in bed. In his semi-conscious state, he saw a man dressed like an official standing outside his house, holding a document and leading a horse with a peculiar white patch on its head. Curiously, Mr. Song got up and approached the official, asking, "What brings you here?" The official replied, "Mr. Song, you are summoned to take part in an examination." Surprised, Mr. Song questioned further. "But I heard that the chief examiner for the literary examination didn't show up. Why is there a sudden examination?" The official smiled but didn't answer directly. Instead, he urged Mr. Song to get ready quickly and accompany him. Despite his illness, Mr. Song had no choice but to bear the pain and ride the horse alongside the official. As they journeyed, Mr. Song noticed that the familiar path was turning unfamiliar. Before long, they arrived at a bustling city, which seemed to be the capital of a kingdom. They continued on until they reached a grand building resembling an official residence, adorned with a sense of dignity and solemnity. Inside, several officials in official attire were seated, but Mr. Song didn't recognize any of them, except for one figure that caught his attention: General Guan Yu, a renowned ancient warrior. Two tables were placed at the front of the hall, each with a chair beside it. One of the chairs already had a scholar sitting on it, who motioned for Mr. Song to take the seat next to him. So, Mr. Song sat down beside the scholar. To his surprise, sheets of paper and Chinese brushes appeared before them magically. In no time, a piece of paper floated down with a title written on it. The title read, "One person, two people, with intent or without." Both scholars picked up their brushes and began to write their essays based on this theme. After completing their essays, they handed them over to the officials for review. Mr. Song's essay contained the following words: "Intentionally doing good deeds should not be rewarded, and unintentionally committing wrongdoings may not be punished." The officials read each other's papers and nodded in agreement. They called Mr. Song forward and said, "In the Hunan region, there is a vacancy for a city guardian, and we believe you are fit for the position. Mr. Song finally understood the situation and was terrified. He immediately knelt down and tearfully replied, "I thank the officials for considering me for the role of city guardian, but I dare not accept it. My elderly mother, who is over 70, needs someone to care for her. Allow me to take care of her until her passing, and then I will return and follow your arrangement." One of the officials, dressed like an emperor, summoned a guard to check how many more years Mr. Song's mother would live on Earth. Another official, with a long beard, brought out a book to consult. From a distance, Mr. Song could vaguely see names and lifespans written in the book. The official with the long beard read through the book and reported, "My lord, Mr. Song's mother can live for 9 more years." Hesitation filled the room. At this moment, General Guan Yu spoke up. "This is not a significant issue. The other candidate, Scholar Zhang, can act as the city guardian in Mr. Song's place for 9 years. When Mr. Song resolves his family matters, he can return to his duties." The emperor-like official then said to Mr. Song, "According to the rules, you should immediately go to Henan to be the city guardian. However, due to your filial devotion to your mother, we have decided to grant you a 9-year leave. After 9 years, someone will come to fetch you back." The officials then encouraged Scholar Zhang with kind words before Mr. Song and Scholar Zhang left the examination hall. Outside, Scholar Zhang held Mr. Song's hand and accompanied him to the outskirts of the city. Zhang said, "My surname is Zhang, as you now know. My hometown is in the Changshan area. It's fate that brought us together today. I have nothing of great value, so let me offer you a poem as a parting gift." Mr. Song, still overwhelmed by emotions, couldn't focus entirely on Scholar Zhang's poem. But he faintly remembered Scholar Zhang reciting, "With flowers and wine, spring is ever present. Without candles or lanterns, the night remains bright." Mr. Song Tao mounted the white horse and bid farewell to Scholar Zhang, then headed towards his home. When he arrived back home, he lay down and closed his eyes, but suddenly, he opened them again. It felt as if he had just awakened from a dream. However, at this moment, he heard his mother weeping. Startled, he sat up, shocking his family members. He inquired about what was happening, and they told him that he had been dead for 3 days, and they were all grieving for him. Mr. Song was astonished and couldn't speak for a long time. Not long after, Mr. Song sent someone to inquire in Changshan. The person returned and informed him that there was indeed a scholar named Zhang in Changshan, and he had passed away on the day of their examination. 9 years later, Mr. Song's mother indeed passed away. After burying his mother, Mr. Song cleaned himself up and lay down on his bed, passing away peacefully. Mr. Song's father-in-law's home was located to the west of the city, not very close to Mr. Song's house. On the day Mr. Song passed away, his father-in-law saw him riding a splendidly decorated white horse, accompanied by many servants, passing by the front of his house. Mr. Song dismounted when he saw his father-in-law and entered his house together with him. Inside, Mr. Song knelt and expressed his gratitude to his father-in-law and mother-in-law before departing. The entire family was speechless, unable to comprehend what had just happened. After Mr. Song left his father-in-law's house, his father-in-law immediately sent someone to inquire, and the servant returned with the news that Mr. Song had already passed away. The author, when collecting this story, was told by the storyteller that Mr. Song Tao did exist, and that he had written some articles. Unfortunately, all of his writings were lost during the outbreak of war. That's it for today's ghostly story. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.